Hi, I'm Megan with Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, and I'm here today to tell you guys about one of our most popular long arm quilting machines, the Handi Quilter Amara. The Amara is super popular because not only does it have 20 inches of workspace, but it has a lot of customizable features that you can really make the machine your own. So let me show you what some of those are. So one of the first things that I love that's customizable about the Handi Quilter Amara is the fact it's got these adjustable handlebars here. So if you are used to doing free motion quilting at your flatbed machine, you can adjust both handlebars to be down like that using these little nubs here. Or if you're more used to driving it like a motorcycle and having your handlebars up, you can actually flip them upward so it's more comfortable for you to drive. The other cool thing that they've done is they also have customizable buttons on both sides of the handlebars. So I can program those to do things like needle up, needle down, automatic tie-off, all sorts of different functions, which is awesome. Another great feature that I love about the Amara 2 is the amount of light you have here. They also gave you total control on that as well. So I can turn the big one off if it's late at night and I don't want that up. I can turn the smaller one by the needle off if I'm doing ruler work and it's blinding me. Or if I decide that I don't want either of them, I can turn them both off. I can also adjust the brightness of each one too. So that's a customizable thing that I absolutely love about this machine. So let me show you some stuff that's on the screen because it's pretty cool what all is on there. So you'll probably notice that my screen is a little bit bigger. That is because it is actually on a tablet, because on my machine here in the store, we have it set up for the Pro Stitcher program as well. However, regardless if you get the Pro Stitcher or just the plain machine, you will have this screen that shows up for your machine. And on this screen has a plethora of information that's really important to know and also kind of fun because you can customize it and go crazy with it. So one of my favorite buttons on the screen is going to be the hand wheel that's right here. So what that does is, instead of me having to try and figure out how to ninja my way across to the back of the machine to get the hand wheel, I can actually just drag my finger here and it acts like the hand wheel. So when I need to oil or see something that's going on in the bobbin area, I can do that really easily without struggling. Another thing that I really like are all of these buttons right here. So this one here lets me know how many stitches it's going to do when I do a tie-off. Here I can let the machine know when I stop sewing, I want the needle to stop in the upright position or the down position. Here it lets me know what my tension is, which is really great if you like to experiment with different threads. You can figure out what your perfect tension is, write it down, and just adjust it automatically when you switch. And then it even has a bobbin estimator. Now for the actual stitching of the machine, that's going to be all of this information up here. This machine does have manual and regulated modes. And on regulated, we have regulated precision or regulated cruise. So on regulated precision, you can see that it tells me how many stitches per inch it's going to stitch. If I switch to cruise, when I press go, that needle's going to just keep going. It's not going to stop when I stop. That's really good if you want to have regulated stitches for pebbling or corners or things like that. In manual mode, it tells me how many stitches per minute it's just going to do. And from there, I can play with it. I can make it bigger, smaller, and save my favorite modes if there's certain techniques I like to do for it. I also have tons of settings and things that I can play with on this machine. I can turn alarms off or on. I can also set up those fun buttons I talked about earlier there. And it even gives me information on the machine and even a tutorial on how to thread it if it's been a while since I've been here. So let's do the fun part and let's try and sew with this guy. Before we start stitching, there's something else I'd like to show you about this machine. When my needle is in the upright position, you can actually see a laser showing me exactly where that needle is going to drop. So if I get to the end of a design, like we are here, I can make sure that my needle drops in the same position, which is great if I'm at the end of a row or something like that. So let's actually stitch on this guy and see what it does. I have it set up for regulated precision, which is the mode that I'm the most comfortable with. And let's go. All right, so let's talk about frame options that you have for this machine. The one that it's loaded on right now is the one that comes standard with the Handi Quilter Amara. It is the Studio 2 frame. The Studio 2 frame can either come in a 10-foot or a 12-foot option. I always recommend you get the biggest quilting frame that you can for the space that you have, because if you're doing a king-size quilt, it's a lot easier to do it on a bigger frame than a smaller one. Another thing I absolutely love about this frame is that you can actually flip these bars forward to make your life a lot easier if you want to do ruler work or micro quilting or any of those more advanced techniques, so that it's nice and flat on the top instead of having a bar in your way. You also have pole cradles and a lot of other cool features on this particular setup, which I think is great and makes your life a lot easier when you're quilting. The Handi Quilter Amara is definitely one of my absolute favorite long arms that we carry at Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, and I highly suggest that you go over to one of our locations and play with one. So I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are as excited as I am about the Handi Quilter Amara.